picked up Arkham Horror, the card game, on a whim from bookstore one day and tried it out, and was instantly hooked. So, I have played through this before. It's a decent game. It's really only for people that are fans of the franchise, but it's something that I enjoy, and I want to share it all with you. So, let's get this over on. Welcome to Arkham Horror Novel. Who will be your investigator for this new adventure? So we have...
Move aside, boys. It's my turn.
7 possible investigators from the franchise that we can choose. So we got Jenny Barnes, the dilettante.
There's no time like the present.
Harvey Walters, the professor. And an occult detective of his own.
I heed the Lord's call.
Zoe Samaras, the cook.
It's my time in the spotlight.
William Yorrick, the gravedigger.
I'm prepared.
Safino Rousseau, the painter.
I'm ready to investigate.
Kate Winthrop, the scientist.
That's my cue to play.
And Jim Culver, the musician. I always get a chuckle out of Jim's backstory. His backstory is that he owns a trumpet, a magical trumpet that can cause dead people to get up and talk to him. And he found that out when he was playing at old Widow Jenkins' funeral. He played so well that poor old Widow Jenkins got up and started dancing at her own funeral. He's been having trouble getting work ever since. So I've already played through and beaten the game with Jim.
Move aside, boys. It's my turn.
And with Jenny. So I'm thinking...
There's no time like the present.
I heed the Lord's call.
It's my time in the spotlight.
I'm gonna go with William this time because, as you might have gathered from his name, he's a Shakespearean actor, and I kind of wanted to hear what his...
It's my time in the spotlight.
I kind of want to hear what his dialogue is like.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wilhelmina Tillinghast, Professor of Astronomy at Miskatonic University. All my life I have dedicated myself to the study of celestial objects. Most recently, I visited Louisiana to observe the passage of a comet I had observed for many years. I hoped the trip would provide me with the evidence required to conclude my decades-long research. Yesterday, you received my telegram requesting that you meet me at my house, just outside Arkham. And so, you've decided to join me in my mansion.
The estimable professor suggested a desire to organize a theatrical extravaganza. At last, a patroness who recognizes my talent.
Welcome to my mansion, my friend.
I'd better ring the bell.
William, you did. William, you did not disappoint.
Oh, answer me. Wait, Hamlet's talking to a ghost in that one. Bad choice.
Oh, good.
How rude of me to make you wait like this. I wonder whether something's wrong.
There's a light coming from that second floor window. Well, she must be home. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in's own house. Or I could just let myself in.
And play the fool in there. Scenario specific objectives to complete. Progress to the next scenario. These objectives are displayed in your notebook and updated as you complete them. Simple enough. Seems to be locked from the inside. Oop. This is definitely Professor Tillinghast's car. The engine appears to be covered. This ornament seems to be used as a roundabout for vehicles. Here stands the car in which you arrived. If we're leaving, we should meet Professor Tillinghast. That would be the wise choice. The box beneath the first floor window seems to invite you to take that way inside, but looks to be shut tight.
It's no problem to reach the window, but it's shut tight. I'd need to smash the glass to get inside.
I hope you aren't thinking what I fear you're thinking.
What I need is something heavy to smash this window.
Yeah, fair enough. Video game logic. Oh, the door's locked? I'd better find something heavy to smash the window. The gate is shut. You came in from the other side. The countryside here would be lovely for a long walk when the weather is fine. Not like today. Hold on a second. And it is dark. Okay, where's the brightness? Let's turn the volume down a bit. Apologies if it's dark. You can see beautiful flowers in the greenhouse. Professor Tillinghast must be a passionate gardener. There's got to be something around here. There's a camera work. The gate is shut. Yeah, same thing. Some interaction with objects may ask you to choose the best action of some complex. These are called complex interactions. Perhaps you'll find something inside help you pick the window. Maybe a pair of bolt cutters, just the thing to smash you in with. I mean, I would have suggested a rock or something, but sure, let's go with that.
How dare you smash my window? I hope you intend to have it replaced.
What light through yonder window breaks? It is my elbow! Ouch! Now, where is the professor?
beautiful piano. You don't recall the professor mentioning that you play. Judging from the dust on the instrument, you doubt it sees much use. A large painting of a comet hurtling through the night sky. It seems the professor's interest in astronomy corrupted decent art as well. Door?
A broken vase. The professor must have heard it fall. She wouldn't have just left it here.
I certainly would not. I take pride in a clean and tidy abode, especially when expecting visitors.
I'd better find her.
If your investigators have the knowledge required, they will offer advice on the best course of action. If this is not the case, they will tell you nothing. Knowledge, logical. William's only good for physical interaction, so he's no good here. Perhaps it is a clue. Through your investigations, you may draw the attentions of great old ones. This is called the mythos. The mythos clock fills up each time an unsuitable action is chosen during a complex interaction, or at the end of a full round of combat. When the mythos clock is full, the great old ones will intervene to slow you down. Be on your guard. Yeah, they only really put these things here to force in a bit of puzzle solve and try and make this thing go faster. A closer inspection of the fractured object reveals it was a vase. Based on its position, you think it fell from a small table nearby. Since the fragments are free in dust, you deduce for a reason.
That scream came from upstairs.
That sounds like my voice. I must need help.
Professor? Was that you?
Of course it was. Hurry!
No answer. There must be someone else in the house. I ought to find a weapon.
Certain events will force a sanity check. Each investigator's mental resistance score determines their chance of success to resist. When sanity reaches 0, the investigating quest suffers from trauma, which gives them a penalty. Wouldn't be a Cthulhu Mythos game if we didn't have sanity checks. William's sanity resistance, as you can see, is 60%. Better than half. The little table is full of items. Perhaps searching one is useful. New weapon, knife. You stick them with a pointy end.
Is this a dagger I see before me? I should hold on to that.
What on earth are you doing with my letter opener?
Erring on the side of caution, Professor. Now I know that scream came from upstairs, but I want to look around down here first. The door is locked. It's a good thing it's not where you want to go. Shoe rack. Contain what you assume are the professor's shoes. Chances are she hasn't left the house. It'd be kind of funny if the professor broke in and asked what we were messing around with her stuff. Of course, can't just climb the stairs. Animation department would cheat on that.
The scream came from this direction. I'd better take a look. The scream must have come from the other side of this door.
That's my office door.
It's locked, of course. Locked. reflection gazes back at you from the scrupulously clean bathroom mirror. It's locked shut. What's the lock? Bandages. Splendid. Always good to have those. Toys are laid out around the room so carefully that you doubt a child ever touched them. Footsteps. Who's there? Aren't you a shady character?
Who goeth? Who goes there?
Smooth, William.
I'll ask the questions. Roland Banks, Bureau of Investigation. I'm on the job. Who are you, and what's your reason for being here?
What would a federal agent want with me?
Roland. The very first character I ever played in the franchise. He's had a special place in my heart ever since.
William Yorrick, Master Thespian at your service. The good professor requested my presence to discuss a performance of some sort. Judging by the scream we heard, it appears to have begun without me.
How rude.
Seems like I'm on the right track. Something hinky's going on here.
Is Professor Tillinghast a suspect in some crime?
She's only a person of interest. The Bureau has evidence that others are trying to involve her in some shady business. I came to find out what she knows, if anything. Then I heard the scream, too. Seems we need a key to get inside that room.
I wasn't prepared for so many guests today.
I'll help you find that key.
Roland Banks, new investigator. I first met Roland and Banks when he visited my home to ask me whether I knew anything about some strange group of people. He seemed to have little more than vague rumors to investigate, and to be honest, I still don't entirely understand what he was after. Still, he seemed honest, if not open, and he has the broad shoulders and quiet confidence one likes to see in members of the Bureau of Investigation. He certainly appeared the sort of person one would call for help. Special ability, perfect aim. Roland has more chance of dealing with critical hit in combat. Hold on. William Yorrick, the gravedigger. William Yorrick has long desired to make a name for himself on the stage. Alas, having seen him in a performance of the Scottish play, I fear he shall never distinguish himself on the boards. Hey! To earn a living, he turned to work as a gravedigger, and no one can say he shies away from hard labor. Some do say, however, that in the lonely hours after a funeral, William performs scenes for the dead. Whether or not they appreciate his performance, no one really can say. Also, he's taken it upon, in most of his backstories, he's taken it upon himself to defend in the graveyard from ghouls that come to feast on the dead. So there's that. Special ability, part of the act. William has more chance to resist negative condition effects. Always a good thing. You're awful quick to trust me, Roland, especially since you must have noticed that broken. An infant's crib. Obviously not brand new, but well, cared for. Among other ornaments, a key tag office hangs from the wall. What a clever place to keep a spare.
There's a key on this mobile.
My files say Tillinghast has no children. If that's true, why would she need a nursery?
Interesting question.
The professor always wished for children, even long after she grew too old to have them.
Oh, I can't say it isn't true. I wish people were less prone to idle gossip.
Are those goats on the mobile? Interesting. We'd best move on. What's in here? A well-organized shelf with something on it. Cigarettes. Gives you bit of a sanity boost at the cost of 1 health. I'd better hand it. Strong wooden chest. It doesn't seem locked, but something else must keep prevents it from opening. Good shake is what this needs. You open the chest to find it is full of books. Lying among them is a single sheet of paper on which is written a recipe for apple fritters. Peel, core, and slice the apples across, but not too thin. Dip in the frying batter. Remove one at a time with a fork and drop carefully into the fryer. Remove from the fryer when they reach a pale golden brown, then drain. Douse with powdered sugar and serve with a slice of lemon. Banana fritters can be cooked in the same way. There's a recipe inside in each scenario. You get an achievement for finding all of them, which I have. Right, enough dilly-dally. Let's get that office door open. You will encounter enemies as you explore. You can know which room contains enemies as a glow falls over the door. Like now. Unlocked.
What? Who?
An intruder! How many people can I expect to break into my house today?
Is he barefoot?
Who are you?
Listen, pal. You've got some explaining to do. Come then. I have just the explanation you deserve.
On guard, basically. Combat is turn-based. Each character acts one after the other without time constraints. The order of each attacker is based on their initiative roll at the start of combat is displayed at the top of the screen of the initiative bar. Each character has 5 action points. Each action has specific action point costs. Once validated, an action cannot be undone except for movement. 3 types of weapon: melee, ranged, and spellbook. Each investigator has a different aptitude of the various weapon types. This aptitude will affect the action point cost of the attacker. Move in within range. Attack! And again! Good damage for a letter roll.
What's going on?
We'd better have a look inside.
What's that? Something. Bandages. I'll have and William handing them to those. More enemies inside. Remember to reload your weapons. Oh, we didn't get a chance to shoot, so we don't need to worry about that.
Who in blazes are you?
You didn't hear your buddy shouting out from outside?
Angels and ministers of grace defend us.
Wait. That's me. That is, it's my body.
That's Professor Tillinghast, all right. She won't be telling me much anymore.
We need to stop them.
special ability. His cock is going up. Well, finish him off.
Who were those cloaked figures? This wasn't just a burglary.
You're right about that. Must be connected to my investigation. We better have a look around.
Again, you're awfully willing to trust this string. This complete stranger. To your horror, recognize the body is definitely that Professor Tillinghast, and there is no question that she is dead. I would prefer the investigators. Appears to be the cause of death. Judging by the weapons, it appears she was killed recently. Send me check.
Such a brutal death. Even Shakespeare would hesitate to dispatch a kindly old scholar in such a manner.
Considering how bloodthirsty the guy was.
Despite my age, I had much more to do in life.
This wound on her stomach? It looks like she was knifed.
Fragments of glass litter the floor. You can't tell the difference when objects that were moved. Reassembling most of the shattered containers, you see a flash that probably came from a laboratory. You can make out the printed words Miskatonic lab.
What's this mess?
Yeah, a broken jar or flask. Can make out a few letters. Lab.
Miskatonic University Science Lab. That's simple enough.
Very. Desk drawer is locked. You need to open it. We're searching inside. Inside the drawer are tucked various notebooks. At a glance, you find nothing related to the murder, but it's clear that Professor Tillinghast was in the habit of recording trivial events.
Look at these notebooks. Is this the professor's handwriting?
It is, but how would you know?
There's no useful information here. But perhaps Professor Tillinghast kept notes on this material in another location.
The clock continues ticking away the seconds, and consider the terrible crime that followed to Shurda that should have stopped its function. Lawrence Wood has painted on the floor, apparently blood. You're certain Professor Tillinghast delivered the kill to Buffett, but you're uncertain of his why.
An ill sign. That and drawn in blood.
Never a good bed omen.
My nice, clean floor, ruined.
That's what you're worried about?
That looks like some kind of cult symbol. This ain't a garden variety burglary. We found everything we're liable to find here. Time to see where the evidence leads us.
And so, my friends set out to discover how I was killed.
Asmodee Digital and Fantasy Flight Games present a game by Lucky Hands, Artifacts Studio, Arkham Horror, and others and others. Professor Tillinghast was found dead in her own home by what appears to be members of the cult. What happened? She died. Your investigators are returning to the office.
Search of my office makes it clear you must visit Miskatonic University. Not only did I work there, but the broken jar came from the university lab. Why did those strange men need it? Whatever the answer, you're sure to find it at Miskatonic.
need to select a group that will continue the investigation to the next scenario. Build a group based on the challenge you expect to face in the field. Review your investigator's strengths as needed in your notebook. End of the scenario, all the items you have collected on your investigation are stored here. Before heading out again, make sure that you have assigned weapons, accessories, and items to your investigators. Give Roland his revolver. William the knife. Give each of them some bandages.
Welcome to Miskatonic University, home of the prestigious Orne Library, which includes the country's largest collection of occult books. I once studied here as a student, later donning the mantle of professor and passing along all I learned to the next generation of astronomy students. This place was like a second home to me. Perhaps the things I left behind will provide you with clues to the answers you seek.
Science and astrophysics are all very well if what you want is a good job. I, of course, prefer the drama department.
Oh, it has changed over the years, but no place feels more like home to me. Not even my little house.
The secretary said Professor Norman Withers could give us access to Professor Tillinghast's office. But what do we expect to find?
We won't know until we look.
All right, let's brace this Withers character and find out what's what.
The overlay is available in both exploration and combat by pressing tab or clicking on the icon representing the 3 investigators at the bottom left. No. Neither of us have any traumas to speak of, so let's take a look around. This goes back to administration. You're gonna have the information you need now. A shelf full of trophies, all inscribed for the Miskatonic Astronomy Club. You wonder what sort of astronomy event results in a trophy. Maybe there's a contest for finding the most stars. The bulletin board includes a map of the first floor of the Science and Astronomy building, complete with a big red UI here. It'd be nice if I could take a look at that. Dr. Henry Walls. A vanilla file folder. Look inside, you spot... Oh, this might be something useful. Why is there an epinephrine being shot in? You know what? I'm not going to question it. This looks useful. It does indeed. Dr. Henry Wallace. Dr. Tyler Warner. Those names will probably pop up somewhere in our report. A note left on a bench a student sits on catches your eye. It reads, I can't stop thinking about that queer old book with its strange writing. Even holding it in my hand seems to drain my strength as if it were some sort of vampire sucking away my energy. When Professor Tillinghast caught me with it, she confiscated it at once. I haven't seen it since. No, they did mention that.
Here's Tillinghast's office on the left. Withers to the right. They must have known each other pretty well.
Professor Tillinghast's door is locked.
But of course, my friend, academics are no less prone to snooping around each other's secrets. Some have even been known to steal a colleague's research and present it as their own.
We'd better ask Withers for the key.
Well, I was going to say the Orne Library does have a collection of books. In the corridor stands a bookshelf proudly displaying the publications of Miskatonic University. Mounted in the center is a plaque reading Lux in Obscuro Sumus, or as Latin readers would translate, "We are the light in the darkness." Of course, as Howard would say, perhaps the darkness shouldn't be lit.
I say no, Agatha. You will pardon me for saying I have never believed your methods to be the least bit scientific. I refuse to believe that Wilhelmina would have...
Oh, they're talking about me. Norman and I were colleagues for years. So naturally, we addressed each other by our Christian names. You, of course, may call me Professor Tillinghast.
I'm investigating her murder. That doesn't entitle me to a bit of familiarity.
Yes, what is it? How can I help you?
Pardon the intrusion, Professor Withers. We're investigating Professor Tillinghast's death, and we...
Not again. Can't an old man mourn his friend in peace? Oh, these constant intrusions by reporters and police and garden variety busybodies. As I told your friends earlier, I do not wish to be disturbed.
Listen, pal.
Wait just a moment, Norman. Something tells me these people aren't the same as the others. Look at their eyes. They've seen things beyond the quotidian.
Beyond the ordinary, she meant.
Oh, forgive my manners. I'm Professor Agatha Crane, and you seem to know of my colleague, Professor Norman Withers. Something tells me you've seen Wilhelmina, haven't you? That is, Professor Tillinghast.
Agatha, for heaven's sake, stop this nonsense.
No, Professor Withers, she's right. We have seen unusual things.
Just a taste of them.
We arrived too late to save Professor Tillinghast, but we've seen evidence that whatever happened to her was unnatural, to say the least. We intend to get to the bottom of it.
I told you, Norman, that box could hold more than knickknacks and gewgaws. I, for one, want to see it for myself. You there, come with me.
What? Where are you going, you confounded parapsychologist?
To the observatory. Wait here, Norman. I know you won't want to be disturbed further.
Agatha Crane, new investigator. Agatha Crane, the parapsychologist. Professor Agatha Crane made her reputation in mathematics and psychology, two fields I would never have expected someone to combine. Surprising us even more, she turned those studies to the auteur fields of parapsychology and the occult. Some of the others might smile at her behind their hands, but I find her stories and speculations highly entertaining, even if they are no more than a bunch of balderdash. Special ability On Alert. Agatha increases the group members' initiative in combat. Agatha Crane is a pioneer in the field of parapsychology, by dint of being the only one and in that field. And she firmly believes that the supernatural is real, and that it's nothing more than advanced science that we don't yet understand, and which means it can be studied and understood. For a learned woman, she's remarkably naive. That's Professor Norman Withers, the astronomer. I know you wish to search the observatory, but for the life of me, I can't imagine what you expect to find there. He's usually a playable character in the games. His backstory is that his reputation was ruined when he started trying to claim the 7 stories just vanished from the night sky. Of course, everyone knows that stars don't just simply vanish, so he decided to do some looking around, and took tenure at Miskatonic University because of its reputation for, shall we say, the more auteur sciences. Based on what he's found, something really big is headed this way, as if we don't have enough problems. A small telescope pointing, peering through it, you must look away from the bright light of the sun. No doubt the view is better at night. You don't mind if I look around? Why do you have bullets? Thankfully, they're the right caliber for Roland's gun. So. Find Professor Tilling's box in the observatory.
Ah, the old observatory. Don't be fooled by its antiquated fixtures, my friends. Of course, the new Gerald Warren Astronomical Observatory is a technological marvel. But I shall always remember this one more fondly. Through these telescopes, I first gazed with wonder at the stars and the vast voids between them.
There's a box. After locating the label, locker face with Professor Withers, you find it locked tight. Nope. Uh-oh. Incoming Mythos event. Feel the awful gaze of great old. Despair gnaws at your remaining sanity. Increases their chances of failing your next sanity check until the next scenario. Oh, everyone failed. Fine. After applying a little elbow grease in the opening in the locker, turned a box inside. Written in neat letters on the label's name, Professor Tillinghast.
Here is the mysterious box.
The label marks it as belonging to Professor Tillinghast. What are these strange things inside?
This symbol. It was in Professor Tillinghast's room.
You've seen this symbol in Wilhelmina's room, haven't you? It is similar to the iconography of ancient pagan rituals. Here is proof that Wilhelmina's research went beyond known science and into the realm of the paranormal.
Many of our colleagues questioned Agatha's unorthodox avenues of research, but none questioned her resolve. Once she sets her mind to a goal, nothing can stop her.
We must show this to Norman. Only then will he help us.
Another point of data. No, that just goes back downstairs. I don't know. A bookcase in need of tidying. A solid steel wrench. We'll give that to Agatha. So much clutter fills this desk that it might take a while to file a neat in this proverbial haystack. Decide to open the small top drawer. You should be so lucky. The Book of Restraint, an eldritch phrase that binds and targets limbs, slowing movement. You need an entire book to do that. Let's give that to Agatha.
Could it be? Yes, these glyphs indicate gestures of power, of magic. This, my friends, is a grimoire, a book of spells. What it is doing at the university, I cannot say, but we mustn't let this opportunity go to waste. We must see whether these spells work.
Nothing to say about that, Roland? Ooh, everyone's mental resistance got knocked down to 50. Magic average. Yeah, she's probably the best one for that. Once the pride of the Miskatonic University Astronomy Department, this outdated telescope haven't seen much use in recent years. Sad. If I could get the camera to take a better look at it, it'd probably be a wonderful thing to look at. Huh, move.
Look here, Norman. See the odd things in this box of Wilhelmina's? Whatever she was researching, it was far more than that comet.
I don't see what this has to do with her death.
We saw a sign identical to the one on this box in the room where Professor Tillinghast was killed.
I must admit that seems far too unlikely to be mere coincidence. Very well. You have my attention and my help. Wilhelmina left Arkham earlier this year, and I received this box. After hearing no word from her, I became concerned, and I confess I briefly searched her office for some indication of the purpose of her travel.
Oh, Norman, you dear fool. I was only gone a week. Why did you worry so?
Unfortunately, I couldn't make sense of her notes. They made no sense to me. I did sense a whiff of the occult about them, which I admit made me uneasy.
Working as an ensemble, we're much more likely to succeed. What do you say we join forces?
You're right, of course. Here, take the key to Wilhelmina's office. While you have a look in there, I'll pore over these notes again.
What was that sound? It came from next door.
My office? Who's in there?
No one else seems to have been worried about that. Shame Norman can't join us. What a mess. People running. That can't be good.
What was that commotion? There's nobody here.
Someone beat us to it. The room's been searched, and recently.
Just look at this mess. Someone has ransacked my office.
Look there. Even the safe is broken open.
Now they're on the lam. We gotta nab them before they get off campus.
Whoever it is must be dangerous. You must protect the students.
We will. First, we need to take a look around. You find a book by the notorious occultist Aleister Crowley entitled A Treatise on Astrology. Can I get closer to that so I can... There we go. A series of notes written in Professor Tillinghast's distinctive hand. They appear to be nothing more than observations on her students, which she apparently liked to pair off like a matchmaker. While amusing, the notes don't appear useful to your investigation. You feel at peace. Everyone gets +1 sanity. Take that, Greg. The safe in Professor Tillinghast's office has been forced open, presumably by the same culprit who ransacked the place. There's nothing left. You see Edward Hopper's painting House by the Railroad, stark vertical and the horizontal lines, as well as its striking color palette seem unsettling in context. No clues here. Let's get outside and see what all the noise is about.
Judging by their clothes, these are the same people who were in the professor's house.
They're the ones who looted her office. Stop them! Who are these interlopers? Deal with them while the others escape!
Yup. Are y'all seriously just running around like that? Let him have it, Will. Okay, back up. Investigators see the status affected by various conditions. Some positive, some negative. Yeah. Okay, basically that guy's restrained, which means he can't move very far. Oops. Sorry, Roland. Spellbooks allow investigators to manipulate unfathomable energy. While a spellbook is equipped, the investigator can't use overlaws no matter the nature of the spell. So basically what happened was that she tried to cast that spell, but it backfired pretty hard. See, yeah, there. See how little she can move? I'll have her refocus. She moves her one position up the ball. Good hit. Let him have it.
That scream is coming from down the corridor.
Oh no, the students!
Must be one of those weird burglars. Let's go!
Quick, the inventory. Reload. Where'd everyone go? Locked.
That scream came from right around here.
This was Wilhelmina's classroom. It sounds as though some students have locked themselves in.
Who's out there?
It's me, Professor Crane. Are you all right in there?
We're safe, but some strange people attacked us. We managed to barricade ourselves inside.
You stay put until we've dealt with them. Did you see which way they were heading?
They ran down the next corridor. Be careful, Professor. They look dangerous.
I just noticed the advertisement for Azathoth's chocolate and stuff on the wall here.
After we handle those burglars, we should come back here. If this was Professor Tilling's classroom, we might find clues inside.
Good place to think of that. A bulletin board filled with flyers for universities' activities, including an announcement for an upcoming home game for Miskatonic squids, over which someone has scrolled, "Go Pods." It's not the most glamorous job, but searching mascaras in my time. And yet, bullets. Always use more bullets. Something sticks out from between the pages of this notebook. And then, I have a smell. Heals 12. We'll hold on to that.
Come here, you!
Help me!
We must protect the students!
3 of them. Some finds will require that you protect the others. Make sure that you protect them.
Help me!
You're just gonna stand there. Bad thoughts. Give it to him. Overwatch. Move her a little closer to William. That. Perfect. I should have used it on the other one.
Help me!
Which one of you is the 13 health? You. Good hit. Finish him off. You'll be fine. Nope. That'll
Are you
fix
all right? Thank you. I think I'll be fine. It's mostly shock.
And then getting bonked in the head with a pipe wrench.
This was just a diversion. We need to catch up to the men that were in Professor Tillinghast's office.
student is bruised but otherwise unharmed. And thanks for your help, he gives you a gift. Excellent. A healing book. Plus. That's how much from the Arkham Gazette. Body vanishes from cemetery by Gerard White. The Arkham Gazette has learned that a body disappeared from the city's cemetery early this morning. Police have questioned a man found on the scene, believing him to be a witness and perhaps an employee of the cemetery. More information to come as the story unfolds.
Are you hurt? No, just bruised. Some men in weird costumes knocked me down.
Which way did they go?
They ran right into that class.
Judging by the glow under the door. Bandages, filthy. 10 healing and force knows the target to a sandwich. No thanks. These stick as lead to the marine biology department. That's far from Professor Tilling's specialization.
Who are you people?
There they are. They have the professor's things. Get them back.
These fools mustn't stop us. Deal with them.
Oh crap, I forgot to roll. One of them is a gun. Focus on the ones. Okay, back up. Oh, much of the memory weapon is pointless. That one.
thus to all tyrants and office burglars. Sounds less grand when I put it that way. Anyhow, let's see what you stole.
Nice to know that my headcanon of William Animal quoting Shakespeare at every drop of the hat, and seems valid.
Robbing the robbers. It would all seem a bit tawdry if it weren't so poetic.
The unmoving body of one of the strangely garbed intruders. He won't be able to terrorize the students any longer, but perhaps he carried identification. I'm going to get a clue. No clues. Search of the corpse turns up a letter from the head of the Department of Science and Astronomy. It grants Professor Tillinghast exclusive use of the science lab for time. Reading between the lines, he presumes she intended performing experiments there.
This letter indicates that Professor Tillinghast reserved the science lab for some experiment.
Self-mutilation. You're not the one to blame. You deserve to be punished. You'll do it yourself! Low chance of losing health every few steps. Once an investigator's sanity reaches 0, a trauma will be inflicted on him or her. Your investigator can be affected by up to 3 different traumas simultaneously, and each one has their own. A 4th trauma will upgrade an existing trauma. If your investigators accumulate too many traumas too quickly, it can change the course of events. These traumas can be purged by leaving and investigate the office between scenarios. I'll be alright. From the dead man's pocket, and you draw out a telegram addressed to Professor Tillinghast. Alphonse Leonard is the traitor. Stop. Could pose threat to your life. Stop the herd.
Maybe it doesn't solve the mystery, but now we have a couple more names to go on. Alphonse Lanowit and the Herd.
I don't recognize those names.
Alphonse Lanouille. An unsavory character indeed.
These clues might not make sense now, or we might be able to connect them to others later.
I think that's all they took.
Good thing, too.
We should return to Wilhelmina's classroom and tell the students the way is clear.
If that's the case, let's check the classroom. If it was Professor Tillinghast, we're bound to find some clue about what happened to her.
Atop the podium is an outline for a talk on autumn constellations, including Andromeda, Aquarius, Capricorn, Pegasus, and Pisces. Excellent. Essential in science and students. No. What is this? This is wrong. Your head is about to explode. All investigators must check their sanity. A spirit, I think. A ceremonial knife that protects the wielder from evil magic. That's horrible, isn't it? Here. Smell it. There we go. Library's open now. Always good for clues. Trophy shelf. A shelf full of trophies, but something else catches your eye. Straining, you finally reach just far enough to grab them. 5 new bullets and a pocket watch. With steady ticking this watch reassures that everything will be alright. For now, we'll hold on to this. A note on the table, most likely written by a student. 1 pint of split peas, 1 carrot, 1 turnip, 1 onion, 3 teaspoons of dried mint, 2 pints of stock, pepper and salt, 1 teaspoon of pea powder. Soak the peas for 24 hours, then drain. Put into the stock and bring to a boil, add the chopped vegetables and simmer for 2 to 3 hours. Rub through a wire sieve, thicken with pea flour and bring to a boil again. Season to taste, serve with dried mint and fried croutons. That sounds delicious. Marble bust as a distinguished looking man. The plaque is described James Irwin, President, Miskatonic University. You discover a record of comet sightings since the dawn of astronomy. Some of these comets won't return for another 10,000 years. Interestingly, William Tillinghast is listed as one of its borrowers, but that was 15 years ago. Perhaps relevant, perhaps not.
Help!
As you try to open the door to Professor Tillinghast's classroom, you feel heavy resistance. It seems those inside are barricaded. Are they gone? Calls the voices. Yep, they're gone. The door has been unlocked.
It's all clear, students. We've taken care of those brutes.
Thank you, Professor.
Let's make sure everyone is unhurt. Then let's have a look around this classroom.
Wide-eyed and open-mouthed, the student shudders in front. Quiet words in a soothing voice you manage to calm the student. She thanks you with a smile and a gift. Why don't you hold on to that? Spike is full of rocks, some of extraterrestrial origins. A small telescope is pointed out a window, and toward another window. Whoever used this last was a peeping Tom. Resting on straight back on chairs in the middle of the line, filthy bandages. No thank you. The young woman was hiding. She was one of Professor Tillinghast's students. While she still appears frightened, perhaps she can coax more information out of her. As a question student, she says, "A few months ago, the professor asked me to return a book to the library. I returned it without looking at what it was. All I remember is that it was a large yellow book." Yellow? That doesn't bode well. Student perhaps shaken by whatever he read in the paper. "Have you heard?" he asked. "Professor Tillinghast's body disappeared from the cemetery. The only witness is an Albert Hatcher, the gravekeeper. Whatever he saw drove him mad. What could it be?"
Professor Tillinghast's body vanished from the cemetery? How ghastly!
Who on earth would steal my corpse? It must have been grave robbers, of course. It isn't as though I could have leapt up and walked away.
Yeah.
This Albert Hatcher is our only witness. We should visit him when we're done here.
The handwriting in this letter is difficult to make out, and the sentences go on and on. Deciphering the note, you find it describes astronomical observations by one of Professor Tillinghast's students. He numbers the questionable dates and crossed off the notes, as if the professor missed some classes. "Thanks for the help," says the young woman. "When you ask about Professor Tillinghast," she says, "she'd been spending a lot of time in the library lately. I know she kept a book in the bag. I didn't notice the title, but I saw the eye, and his name was Y. Page. If you can find that book, it might tell you what she was researching." With your gentle guidance, the student begins making sense. "I am one of Professor Tillinghast's research assistants. Lately, the professor has been working on a project on her own. When I asked her about it, she said it was a project too advanced for me. I guess I was a little insulted, so I spied on her. I saw her look through the books in the third bookcase in the back of the library, the one with all the dictionaries and encyclopedias. She seemed impatient for results, and she let me help. Another clue. Notes atop the desk outline the way ancient cultures regard constellations, presumably the most recent topic addressed in this room. I think that's all the clues we're going to find here. Let's head back to the library and see if we can find this book by Y. Page. Third from the back, she said. History and theory of astronomy. That's it. This bookcase contains many volumes in the study of geology. That's it. This section features books on the Earth and the Moon. The reference section. M2R. Attracts your attention. The heavy yellow volume. You find one listing. Among the reference books, you find one listing scientific groups in the United States. One of them is called the Herd of Al-Gidi, a small astronomical society based in New Orleans Garden District. Splendid.
Here it is again, the Herd of Al-Gidi. There's some sort of astronomy club. That explains the professor's interest.
They're based in New Orleans.
Perhaps that's where the professor went on her trip.
That makes sense since she circled the name in the book.
I do feel a pang of guilt at defacing a book in such a manner. I must have had a very good reason for it.
I think we visited all the places Professor Tillinghast worked in the university.
It's about time we return to Norman's office. Perhaps he's made some headway with those notes.
Hopefully he's still sane. Herd of Al-Gidi in New Orleans. Laboratory still. Sorry, it's locked. This door apparently is a different department. With us?
Ah, you're back at last. Did you find the cause of the commotion?
We took care of it, Doc. Still, there might be trouble ahead.
We return with news and, well, with another adversary.
An enemy of Wilhelmina, poppycock. Everyone liked her, even the students.
Do you know any reason why she requested exclusive access to the science lab for several days?
What? No, she had no need of a lab. As an astronomer, she spent most of her time in the observatory, not among flasks and beakers.
The broken glass we found in Professor Tillinghast's house looked like it might have been a flask or beaker.
Here, this is the key to the science lab. You can find the entrance in front of Wilhelmina's classroom.
How's your student? A student injured during the ruckus in the quarters hid himself inside Professor Wither's office. Glad we can stack things on top of each other. Excuse me, big, complicated mathematical equation nearly fills his blackboard. You don't recognize it, and the solution hasn't been added. It's almost as if it's challenging you. You've solved it, or at least you think so. Unfortunately, there's no one present to confirm it. Now you have a headache. Exploring the desk, you discover a small notebook someone apparently meant to conceal. Examining the notebook more closely, you realize it is correspondence between two different people who seem to have communicated by leaving messages for each other. Much of the content seems like boring gossip, but one entry stands out. While Professor Tillinghast was away, I took the book from her desk and hid it in the old chest in the debate room. You know, the one with the fake bottom. Later, we should figure out what it really is. Gray with age. No, I don't need more dirty bandages. You find what appear to be crib sheets for an exam, multiple copies with different answers for developmental questions. On top of each sheet is a price, $2. Fair amount back in those days, $1 was worth. A notebook lies open on one of the desks, its pages filled with legible but passionate handwriting. Whichever student made this note loved his studies. His enthusiasm is infectious, and you feel a surge of hope that you can learn everything you need to solve this mystery. Thank you for the sanity game. A celestial gold depicting the constellations. Fine, but dusty oaken wardrobe. There's no lock, but you can't make the door budge. Little applied mechanics, and all it takes to open the container and see what's inside. Bulletproof vest. We'll give that to Roland. He's the one with the gun, so he doesn't really need to move that much. One second. There we go. Chest in a debate. Useful. I don't know if I can read that map. Back up to the observatory. So where's the debate classroom? No, it's this one anyway. 5A. That glow means there's enemies inside. But I want to find that book. Jeez, William. Have I proved to be the villain? Why then must I fight myself? Worn old chest, the bottom is slightly crooked. Inside you find a few astronomical gadgets of more use to the 17th century sailors than to you. Searching the chest you find a false bottom. Lifting it reveals an old book is too ordinary a word for this curious volume. Just a typical book of stun. Get rid of the letter. Give him that. Splendid. That was very useful. I'm glad we went looking for that.
Anyone, help!
Sorry, you got something. Then what can you do right now?
How did you? I could have sworn I locked that door. You'll regret opening it.
There's something very wrong about this man.
Oh, gee. Hey, the costume didn't...
Look what he did to that god! Grab him before he tries it with us!
Okay, no one has any guns. That's the one with the wrench. Not good. Lock him down. Oops. Knocked out. If at least one member of the group survives the fight, all the knockdown investigators will stand up with small myself. That was stupid. How about we try that again? Oh, it's gonna push us all the way back here. That's fine.
Help! Anyone? Help!
Swamp trees.
Anyone? Help! Help! Anyone? Help! Help!
Just these two.
Anyone? Help! Help!
Okay. How about we try that again?
How did you?
There's some.
Look what he did to that guy!
in the world, and it didn't do you a lick of good. There's those bullets. Save a bullet. Can't reach anything too. And moves. There we go.
What just happened?
That man cast a spell. Oh, I know how that sounds, but you saw it with your own eyes. Something Wilhelmina researched proved dangerous, fatally so for her.
The strange man lies dead on the floor. The prospect of rifling through his pockets is more gruesome. It's the only way to find a clue. A scrap of paper. Paper in his pocket found a list of location. Professor Tillinghast mansion, Miskatonic University, the asylum, something called the Witch House. Something bandages. Class notes on chalkboard partially erased as if someone began to clear the board before noticing the notice "Do not erase" notice. Scattered pages and notebooks litter the area. It might be teased to search it all, but doing so might turn up an open clue. Many of the jumbled notes mention the imminent passage of a comet Professor Tillinghast appeared to be studying. What the heck is that?
What is this thing? Is it even alive? I've never seen anything like it.
No matter its origin, you must admit it is a scientifically important discovery.
You would say that, wouldn't you, Professor?
That container looks the same as the broken glass we found at Professor Tillinghast's house. Do you suppose someone took one there?
No, glass looks the same. Roland, how can you be sure? Don't think it. A weird worm-like creature of strange tentacle-like growths lies on an operating table. It appears dead, dormant. Something about its strange appearance strikes revulsion into your heart. This thing is an abomination. Rather than let the students find it, you decide to burn it.
We can't just leave this thing behind. We have to destroy the body. Burn it.
You can't know how this creature's flesh will react to flame. Don't take the risk.
You're right. We can't let anyone else get a hold of this thing.
Yeah, video game logic, like I said. Your investigators are returning to the office.
Gravekeeper Albert Hatcher is the only one who saw how my body left the cemetery, and whatever it was broke his sanity. Questioning a madman might not be easy, but it's the only lead you have.
Investigators can overcome one trauma every time he or she doesn't participate in a scenario. Choose carefully who you choose to bring and who you don't. But that's a choice I'm going to leave you for another time, because we are out of time for now. So I will leave this episode and here. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and that you're looking forward to the next chapter. Goodbye.